Alright, I'm starting the reassembly. I've got the roller wheels in and new E-clips and some new little washers. This thing takes a ton of washers. I had a whole stack of them. Had a few I had to throw away because they were damaged. And I bought probably about 30 of them so far and still need more for this front idler wheel. I've got to get or make a new bolt to go through that side or the outside, one of the sides, because it looked like it was a replacement or something. It was too short. It was shorter than the other three. And so I've got to pick that up. Got the transaxle set in there and starting to bolt it up. I'm working on this bearings, these two bearings and brake drum, and I've got to take it back apart and make some adjustment there. I've got the chains dripping where I soaked them about 3 days in oil. I sprayed them down with the rust penetrant. They're pretty flexible now. The chain looked really good, just rusty and stiff. And they seem pretty pliable. They fit real tightly to the sprockets, so I'm not going to replace the chains. Alright, I got that bearing assembly the way I want it. Got the new brake drum in. It was designed a little bit differently. It's a cup style instead of solid like the other one. And it's got a collar on it, and it was too wide to fit down in there. So I had to trim a little bit off of it. Got these two chains on. The one on the left is pretty flexible. The one on the right has about 2 or 3 places that are still a little stiff. And I'm going to spray them again with that GM rust penetrant. And I think just running it will loosen it up. I got to get the other 2 chains on. I got these 2 panels on. They were not on the Bulldozer when I got it. He had taken them off, left them off. And I'm going to put them back on. I got all of the wheels, I think, in line the way they're supposed to be. So I think my next step is going to actually be to put the tracks on. I think now's the time to put the tracks on, and then I'll set that upper frame down on there and continue the reassembly. And if we shift up here, you can see one of the brake drums is getting a new lining on it. I've got to order some more material. Did I say brake drums? Brake bands. The other one down in there, I never took it out. Inspecting it, looks good. The reason this one was wore out is, if you remember this brake drum here that I had to replace. Let's get you a good shot. I don't know what did that. But anyway, that's why I had to replace that. I think he may have had something out of adjustment. And then I've got this one. This goes on the transaxle, and it is in pretty bad shape as well. I've got to get it replaced. I'll order some material. I'll probably order at least 2 to 3 feet of this stuff and have some on hand. Alright, got the second track on. They went on easier than they came off. I lubricated the chain up underneath with some of my GM lube, and I think that helped it be a little more pliable, and it went right on. It's got a little bit of a sag on both sides, and it is almost all the way out. So I'm going to have to do some research and see if that's as tight as it's supposed to be, or if these tracks maybe are stretched. Alright, me and my son got the upper frame set on here, and he's about to set the seat down. Can you do it? Almost lined up. I may have to help him. And there's the new seat. I bought that at an auction a year or so ago. Gave, I think, 40 bucks for it. Brand new seat. I'm happy with it. Up here's the one that came off of it, if you remember. And we will go back with comfort. Moving right along. Making more progress. I've stuck these side fenders on just temporarily. And it's starting to look like a bulldozer again. Coming together. Coming together. I got to get the handlebars hooked up to the brakes. I got a few more pieces on this thing. I got the ballast box put on there. I've only got a couple of bolts holding it on. I've got to finish bolting that up. And I've got the brakes hooked back up. This, I guess you call them steering brakes. I've got to put a pin through the shaft there, but I got this. This side, when I got it, was real loose, and they're about the same now. That one may need tightening just a little bit more, but they feel good. And that's major, all of the major body components back on it. Start working on some of the details. I got to put these side panels that I made. I got to drill the holes and mount those. I got to make a panel to go across there under the seat. Engine. I have been debating on what engine to put on this thing. And like I said in the one video, the Predator 13 horsepower Predator is the easiest. But I just really don't want to go with that. I don't think it's enough power, and several of you said the same thing, which is what I was thinking. And I've made my decision, but one of the things about what I wanted to put in here was the height of it. And if you see under the hood there, I've got a little block which lifts that hood up it's about 1.25 inches. And that is going to give me the clearance I think that I'm going to need. And I'm going to rig it up where that'll sit there permanently. I'll have to adjust that. That's just a piece of aluminum bar. And so I'll have it mounted there permanently. It won't stick out like that. I'll have it where it won't be noticeable. And then that will raise the front of the hood up. I don't think it changes the looks of the Bulldozer all that much. And that will allow me to put this engine in there. So it's not too far, I don't think, from me being able to get this thing running. And once I get the engine on there and all these little components buttoned up, then I'm going to start on the loader and then the backhoe after that. Okay guys, we're coming to the engine now. And let me show you what I'm facing. Here's the engine that I decided to put on this tractor. And I thought I was going to have enough room. It's the Winsun 13 horsepower diesel that I had on my 14.6. I've got the air breather completely removed. If I did this, what I would have to do, let me take you over here to my workbench. This bolts back up, and then this bolts into it. I would have to cut this stud off flush with this outer edge because the edge of the hood barely clears this, and then I would not be able to run this housing. On my 14.6, I notched the hood to fit down in there. All right, let's come over here. Where I have it sitting, the belt is pretty lined up. It would run there. It's maybe just a touch over in that direction too far. It would never jump off that pulley though, I don't think. It's pretty close. All right, so here's what I'm facing, and I don't know if I can get you in there to show you. Right here, the hood is sitting on the fuel cap. And this ridge on the gas tank is sitting on the lip of the hood scoop. Now I could possibly slide this thing back a little bit because I've got room there. I could come back 1 inch or so because the battery will sit right here, and that's no big deal there. There's plenty of room for the battery. but there's an inch and a half. You can see my spacer, and from that spacer, which is an inch and a quarter, up to the bottom of the hood is an inch and a half. So I am that far up off of the frame with this engine. You can see it there. This engine is just too tall. And I don't even mind that being out of line with that. I think it has enough room to come down without getting into it. So I don't know now. I'd love to have this engine on there. I don't know if you can see that, but I got grass in my paint. May have to repaint this hood. Anyway, back to the engine. I don't know what to do. On my 14.6 that I took it off of, what I did is on the bottom of the grill, it was all boogered up. I think I covered this in one of the videos. I took and cut it off there where it bends under, and I made a new end to it and welded it in. And extended that hood up about 3/4 of an inch to be able to clear. And that works on the 14.6. But it don't look like it's going to work on this. So I may have to go to plan B, which I do not know what plan B is. Guys, you can put your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me show you what I did. I was missing, I only had one side panel, the one on this side. And I did not have it sandblasted. I did not paint it. And I had some diamond plated aluminum that was given to me. I've got 2 of them. The other is laying over there under my notebook. And I took them to my father-in-law's. I cut them out. And lo and behold, I bent them backwards. I got confused. I didn't have the pattern with me. I thought I had it in my mind, and I bent them backwards. So what I did when we painted is I painted the outside, and this will fit on this side over here. Let me get my camera over here. It'll fit on this side, and it'll be diamond plated on the inside. I've got to drill the holes and then make this top panel. It's hard to do this one-handed. The lady that I got the dozer from, she said, sorry about that, she said she had found some extra pieces, and I was hoping it was that other side and the seat panel, but it wasn't. And I don't know where they are, so that's my solution. All right, I'm going to end this video here, and hopefully we'll have this thing ready to roll on its own power here before long. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate your interest in my projects. Hope you all have a great day. And